Weir. We are going to go ahead and get started. We're going to talk about the topic that was on the YouTube thumbnail there about how you're going to be able to improve customer service at your local office. And then once we finish today's topic, we will I'll open it up for questions and answers. And if you just want to stick around for today's topic, and you don't have any particular questions today, as always, make sure you subscribe and like and all that kind of good stuff. If you subscribe, then you can find our channel in the future. If this is your first time on our channel, my name is Ed Weir, former district manager of the Social Security Administration, and you can see my other previous titles there. But if you don't have any questions, please subscribe. I get contacts all the time that people didn't have a question and they couldn't find my channel after a month or 2 months or 3 months later when they did have a question or their friends or family had a question. So if you subscribe, that way you'll be able to find me. All right, so we're going to talk about today improving customer service. And go ahead and start typing your questions into chat. And as soon as we talk about how we're going to solve the customer service issue at Social Security, then we'll get to as many questions as I can do today. We'll keep it to about an hour or so. And let's go ahead and do it to it. All right. So everybody complains about customer service, but it's kind of like the weather. Nobody does anything about it. Now is your chance to do something about it effectively. Based on my few decades of inside Social Security experience, I know how you can improve customer service, because all of this stuff, all of these videos I do, it doesn't matter. I've got hundreds of videos to teach you how to get your spouse benefits and your survivor benefits and your retirement benefits and delayed retirement and disability and all that kind of stuff. But none of it helps if once you come up with a strategy based on all my videos and Q&A and everything, you go to Social Security office and you can't get in, or they can't pick up the phone, then it kind of defeats the whole purpose. And should you really have to depend on someone? Should you really have to depend to get your questions from someone on YouTube or TikTok or LinkedIn or something? Like, no. I mean, if customer service was better at Social Security, I could go back into retirement and wouldn't have to do all these. And I kind of like doing them, but hey, I would like to go back into retirement. So once customer service is improved at Social Security, I'll go back into retirement and possibly never see me again. But I don't see that happening anytime in the near future. And all these social media YouTubers and TikTokers out there, that's another reason I'm doing this, is there's just so much misinformation and incomplete information and clickbait and fear mongering. And I spend so much of my time making little videos and, okay, that's not correct. And okay, that's clickbait. And so I spend quite a bit of my time correcting other TikTokers. There's a company out there that gives you a couple of days of training, online training, and then they give you a cute little certificate that says now you're a Social Security expert. And yeah, that's where they say a little bit of knowledge is a dangerous thing. And so those people with their cute little certificate are going out into the world and giving people advice, and people are losing, a lot of money and benefits. So it's all right. So there's why we're doing this today. And the issues with the customer service, long lines, the phones, they don't pick up the phones, or they do after an hour or 2 hours. Claims processing, you file for retirement or disability survivors, and it takes them forever to process it. So here is your chance. There is a new commissioner of Social Security, Martin O'Malley, and he just took over last year, and he's doing some good stuff with the overpayments, based on an Anderson Cooper 60-minute and a lot of outrage throughout the country. And that's how things get done, as we poke our duly elected representatives with a sharp stick, and we say, hey, we're sent you to Washington, do your thing. So that's one of the things we're going to try to do here today. But all the other commissioners when they took over, they said they're going to improve customer service. And I've served under several commissioners. I've had lunch and dinner with several of them, and they're always customer service, customer service. But then nothing happens really. Little incremental improvements, but this time is different because he has our support, because we want better customer service. All right, so there's two kind of prongs of attack, two strategies we want to focus on: internal and external. And so within the offices itself, so part of this, hopefully there's over 1,500 Social Security offices throughout the country, and hopefully all 1,500 plus district managers of those offices and assistant district managers are watching this today, or will watch this. They'll, maybe hopefully mandated to watch this. But there's a lot of things that they can do. When I ran my office, the third busiest in the office, we got a lot of awards because of our customer service. Even though our resources were limited, we did what we could with those limited resources, and I think we did a pretty good job. And so this is kind of directed towards the people actually running the offices, and the employees will like this. In my office, myself, my assistant district manager, our supervisors, all management team was in the lobby every morning. And let me show you what we're dealing on TikTok. I'm sorry, you can't see my pictures or anything like that. I think I need 10,000 subscribers to do it right in TikTok. So if y'all can subscribe, I appreciate it, so I can do it right on TikTok. But this was my office in the morning. You see the line going all the way to the front. There's the front doors in the very middle there. And yeah, it goes all the way around the building. But that's the 9 o'clock line. We had that line checked in within 12, 13 minutes. And other offices throughout the country are like, what? That's impossible. No, we did it. All the management was in the lobby at 9 o'clock, expediting the line and getting people in. So there's, before I took over the office, pretty much, I know this happens throughout the country, management, they kind of lock themselves in their office and they never, go out, and they don't often go out into the lobby to help. And it's, good customer service. It shows the employees that you're out there committed and everything. And multiple VIP kiosks, and managers will know what I'm talking about. Multiple ways to check people in, and an innovation committee. We started one. We were the first ones in the country to get an innovation committee. It was just basically me and about 15 different employees, volunteers, and we just put our heads together. We met like once a month and said, okay, how can we improve customer service? A little incremental, 1% here, 1% here. And the employees of each offices, they want to make their life easier. They want to avoid being yelled at for having bad customer service. So they've got tons of ideas. So you just need to try what they recommend. So you can't try unless you actually listen to the frontline employees and implement something. And here's something for everybody out there: volunteers. So if you are out there looking for a job, there's a couple of volunteer AARP senior volunteers. It's a Department of Labor affiliated program that AARP administers. So you can go on at AARP, and it's senior volunteers. And then there's called NPWE, non-paid work experience. So you recent vets looking kind of a vocational rehab type of thing, you contact your Veterans Affairs and ask them about the NPWE, non-paid work experience. Even though it says non-paid and the volunteer says volunteer, Social Security doesn't pay, but the Veterans Administration pays the veteran to go and work at a federal office, like a Social Security office. AARP pays the senior volunteer a certain stipend to go to the Social Security office and volunteer at the Social Security office. So those are good things that my office, I guarantee you 100%, we use more volunteers than all 1,500 offices in the country. I brought on dozens and dozens and dozens and dozens of senior volunteers, and I know offices throughout the country don't even use those. I know that for a fact because, yeah, I know. It was a nasty situation, but I was completely surprised. Like, come on, this is free labor. This is, helping out your staff. It's providing better customer service. It's giving, the extra money to people that need it. So why aren't you using this? And it's, a lot of managers don't want to do it because it takes time to do all the paperwork and background checks and stuff like that. But get over it, do it. So volunteer. That's kind of internal thing going out to the district managers and offices throughout the country. But next time, all y'all out there that are watching this, next time you go to the Social Security Administration or call and say, hey, does your office, is management in the lobby when the line is really, really long? Why not? Do y'all, how many senior volunteers, how many VA veteran volunteers do y'all have in your office helping you out, with customer service? And if they say no, then say, why not? So kind of hold their feet to the fire a little bit. But that alone is not going to improve customer service, unfortunately. I just want to make sure I've got, okay. Yeah, that alone is not going to improve customer service. We also need, some type of support, political support, because that's what politics is, is a, politics, what it should be. Now it's descended into just, kind of the Roman Colosseum, throwing out, red meat so they could attack each other. But what politics should be is the kind of a resource allocation. Okay, one particular group says, no, the resources should be over here. Another group says the resources should be over there. And there should be kind of an intelligent debate about, ultimate goal is this, but resources, how should we reach that goal? Unfortunately, it hasn't, recently, as you can see, it hasn't got there. But allocation of resources. So we're talking your national politicians, and you see, all you got to do is Google online about, your representative to Congress, Senate, wherever. They, put on hard hats and shovels, and they say, we brought highways or toll bridges or, whatever the case may be, a new research center to your area, and they put on a hard hat and get a shovel and go out there and do a photo op and stuff. What have they done? Janet Jackson, what have you done for us lately in terms of Social Security customer service, right? So why aren't there photo ops like that in front of the Social Security office and said, hey, look, we really, I came to bat for my local constituents and improve customer service at our local office. So yeah, what have you done to improve customer service at the local Social Security office? So, because in terms of federal offices, you got the post office. Obviously, post office, I think, is doing a pretty good job. 40 or 50 cents to get your, mail across the country is not too bad. Lines or whatever, but the IRS, we don't really deal with the IRS too much, hopefully. But Social Security, that's the office that from cradle to grave, everybody needs. When you have a newborn baby, you need a Social Security card. Why should you have to wait for 2 or 3 hours to get a Social Security card? If you lose your card, you have to wait for hours. If you become disabled, a surviving spouse, retirement, change your address, all that kind of stuff. So the Social Security offices are offices throughout the country that touch everybody all throughout their life. And we need better customer service. But a kind of a cautionary tale about getting better customer service here. Social Security, again, I know from personal experience, because I dealt with this for decades, it's a whack-a-mole type of situation. If you complain that the phones aren't being picked up, then the rolls downhill, and it goes to the local office and says, okay, hey, y'all need to do a better job at picking up your phones and answering, increasing your phone answer rate and yada yada yada. What often happens is then, because that's a focus for that week, that day, then the offices just move resources from one area to the other. So the phones get better, but then the line gets longer, or your retirement claim takes longer to process. So, or again, if you complain about the lines, then they'll take people off their phones and put them in the front office at the windows, and then the line will go down, but the phones will go up. So it's a whack-a-mole situation. Those three things, in terms of phone answer rate, wait time in getting into the office, the lobby, and then claims processing. So those three things, don't let people trick you into just moving resources around and nothing really changes, because eventually they'll balance back out and nothing will be improved. So that is my 2 cents and your mission, if you choose to accept it. And if you're tired of bad customer service, now you have hopefully a little tool belt to go out there and do what you need to do if you choose to do so. So I just wanted to throw that out there, because a lot of people ask, what can we do? They complain. Well, here's your opportunity. So, all right, that's enough of my soapbox on that today. So, all right, let's go ahead and answer some questions. All right. Let me get everything back up here again. And I've already got a bunch of questions, so this is a beautiful thing. All right, Jim. Hey, Jim. Does a person survivor benefit increase if they take it after they turn 60? Yes, survivor benefits increase, just as most benefits increase the longer you delay starting them. Anytime you take anything early from Social Security, for the most part, except for like disability and stuff, it's decreases. So yeah, if you wait until you're 61, 62, 63, 64, whatever the case may be, your benefit will increase. But survivor benefits is kind of convoluted, and there is this thing called the widow's cap, or the rib limb. I've got a few videos on that. That sometimes it doesn't, depending on when the deceased, depending on when they started their benefits, a surviving spouse benefit might not increase at all after about 62 and a half. So you have to be careful of that. So how do you do that is, when you reach about 62 or so, call up and say, okay, how much my benefit is going to increase this year or versus next year, or whatever the case may be. All right. I'm 65 in 3 months. I sometimes worry that they will kick me off SSDI. Do you think I'm worried? Will they check me if I'm this old already? I guarantee 100% they are going to kick you off SSDI, which is a beautiful thing, because they're going to kick you off SSDI when you hit your full retirement age here pretty soon, and just put you on regular retirement. They do that to everybody. So nobody in the country is receiving disability after their full retirement age. Everybody is switched to retirement benefits. And it's just a political thing. They stop taking the money out of the disability trust fund and they start taking out of the retirement trust fund. Your check stays the same, and it's the same pay date and all that kind of good stuff. But I know what you're asking here about CDRs and continuing disability reviews. Once you hit your full retirement age and you're in retirement, then you can make $1 billion a month and continue work or start working or whatever the case may be, and there's no issues whatsoever. So you don't have to jump through any disability hoops anymore once you hit your full retirement age. Katie, my husband, Marine 311. Oh, 0311. Oh, wow. So that means you were a Marine. Yes. So yeah, Marine spouses are essentially Marines. And if you're an 0311, which is the grunts, then yeah, you're an extra crispy Marine. Has veterans disability and recently got approved for SSDI. All right, good deal. Yes. Yeah. People think that if you're approved for veterans disability, that's an automatic approval for Social Security, but they're two different systems. You have to go through the whole rigmarole again. And Social Security, it's all about, being able to work and everything like that. So yeah, so Awesome. Congrats on that. Hopefully it didn't take him forever and a day to get approved. His Medicare will start in 2 years. Once you're on Social Security disability, your Medicare will start after 24 months. But he's probably receiving VA benefits or health care or TRICARE, whatever the case may be. So yeah, make sure I've actually got a video I did last year, and it's called Medicare for Marines. So being an old Marine Corps sergeant myself, it's for all services, but you know, the Air Force and the Space Force and the Navy and all that, it's for all services. But Medicare for Marines was a cool title, so that's what I chose. Anyway, but it's for all services. What's up, Joe? Hi, if I've been approved for disability, can I cancel Medicare because I'm under my wife's insurance? Is it easy to get back on it if need be? Yeah, 100%. Yes, if you're under your wife's insurance and she's working and her employer has 20 or more employees, then yeah, you don't need to sign up for Part A or Part B. Some people do A because it's free, but B, save yourself 174.70 a month. Absolutely, yeah. And then when you want to get back onto it, you just there's a video I've done on, I think the title is "How to Avoid a Medicare Penalty." And so 2 years, 3 years, 4 years down the line, when your wife stops working and stops receiving health insurance from that work, then she can, or you can, or both of you sign up for Medicare. So everybody, please press like so more people know that we're on here, so more people can get the answers to the questions that they need. By now, most of us should know to seek a professional, especially when it comes to Social Security. Yes, exactly. Yes. Yeah, the Social Security Administration is obviously the final decision maker on all of these. But yeah, it's bad that people have to go to social media to get their answers. Yeah. Were you over several offices or just yours? Yeah, I just it was actually technically 2 offices when they used to have the card centers. After 9/11, Social Security made the stupid decision to open up card centers, separate card centers to give just Social Security cards, and it was just a complete waste of money. And yeah, it's just, so they eventually closed those down. My office was the second one in the country to close down the card center. So it was the district office and the card center, but my office was the third busiest in the country. So it was just one office, but it was equal to like 5 or 10 other offices in terms of, thousands of people coming in every day. All right, let's see here. Katie, could you please touch on child support held back pay? My husband owes 0. Child support has already sent an order to Social Security, called SSA to ask about it. She really seemed rude. I'm so discouraged. Oh, and you got another follow-up here. Said the check could come in a month, could be a year. That's not. I've then asked her about our dependents, 3 minor boys. She laughed at me and acted like she didn't know what I was asking. Yeah, that's not right at all. That's not bad customer service. That's just bad human being right there. Yeah, I'm sorry about that. Yes, in terms of any type of like child support or a court order, anything, child support, bankruptcy, right? Usually child support or IRS or something like that. If a court orders the Social Security Administration to take money from retirement or disability or survivors from someone, then Social Security has to follow that court order. And so people used to come into the office all the time and say, hey, I had child support, alimony, or whatever, child support, or usually child support, and I was paying it. And then the court just said that, I don't owe it anymore. So why don't you stop it? And we couldn't do anything until we actually got the court order, the new court order, the revised court order directly from the court. So the Social Security Administration can't do anything. You can't walk in there with a court order because yeah, we used to get fake documents all the time. All offices do. Yeah, so we have to get it directly from the court. And once we get it from the court, then they take action on it. So I would call that office again, or as I, said in my live interview yesterday, live Q&A yesterday, which I seem to be doing a live Q&A pretty much every day, which is fine. A lot of questions out there. Yeah, you can go to any office you want to. If you don't like the office that, that treated you wrong, you can go to another office in that, in your city if you have another office though. But I would recommend go back to that office and talk to that person's operations supervisor and say, here's the issue, and you don't appreciate people being rude to you. There's no call for that whatsoever. So, and that'll help that office address that employee and hopefully, address it and, move them on to some place that doesn't do customer service. So. All right, let's see. Work full-time with full health insurance. Turned 65 in August. Can my work health insurance act as a gap insurance to Part A and Part B, or vice versa? Medicare as a gap to my work health insurance. Well, gap, I think you're talking about time frame gap, not as first payer, second payer type of thing. No, but if you have health insurance from work, you don't have to sign up for Part A, Part B, or anything. Like I said, some people do Part A, but the thing about Part A, if you sign up for Part A and you have a health savings account that you contribute to, once you sign up for Part A, you can no longer contribute to that health savings account. So take that into consideration. So if you want both, you can get both Medicare and your health insurance, but and then you can deal, second payer, they can deal, the insurance companies, they fight back and forth. No, you pay this one, you pay that one. It's a nightmare. But if you have health insurance from work, current work, you or your spouse's current work, and you're happy with it, and your employer has 20 or more employees, then yeah, you don't have to do anything. Yeah, you're good. All right. I have the local phone number for Social Security. I have always called and made an appointment so I don't have to come and sit in line to see someone. Our town is around 15,000 population. Yeah, that's awesome. Yes. Some offices, and that's another thing that I was going to add to customer service today is workload mobility. Again, my office, third busiest in the country, and we were always inundated. But, there's offices like yours that, probably have some capacity to do a little bit extra to help out other offices that are struggling. Sometimes, staffing, there's an issues and, whatever the case may be. So yeah, Social Security needs to do a better job at, moving some work around those 1,500 offices. They do that sometimes with like hearings and stuff like that. The administrative law judge, people that file for disability know that they have a hearing with their disability, the administrative law judge, and instead of it being in their local town or their local area, it's like in 3 states away, because what happens is they got that workload mobility. They move it from, okay, the judges right here inundated, but there's another state that, they've got a little bit of capacity to help out. So they help out. So they move stuff around. Social Security does that to some extent, but yeah, they really need to do a better job of doing that. So all offices, are, equivalent. So all offices, we're hoping all offices will be like yours and Kathy. And yeah, so Jim, 60. I also read that even if I take my Social Security at 62, my spouse might still be able to get up to 87%. Okay, wait a second here. So yeah, you said surviving spouse. So your spouse can't get anything because they're deceased. But yeah, now it says you can't get it at 60. You can only get 60 if you're getting surviving spouse. So yeah. Lola, in where I live, there is a 24 windows, only 3 are open. So where is the superior? Yeah, okay. Yeah, our my office had 33 windows and every single window was open all the time. That's another thing. Management, made sure people were at the windows. But then again, phones would suffer and stuff. Yeah, it's a whack-a-mole situation. Let's see here. Thank you. You're welcome. Um, I'm sorry. I would like to know how to get a consultation with you. Yeah, I've by kind of popular demand and trying to kind of deal with our daily expenses. I reluctantly I do a private one-on-one phone consultation, charge $75. Sorry, but that's why I do this live Q&A to answer 99% of the questions. But if you really want to talk to me directly, then that supports our channel ability to do all this stuff, because all this free info is very expensive. This program I'm using right now and all this other kind of stuff. The website was crazy expensive, but yeah, you just go into the description and go to the Calendly, and I only do just one or two a day. But yeah, you can request a phone call. McFact, if one is approved for Medicare, then after a month, if one decides to cancel, can one reapply at a later time without incurring a penalty? If you have health insurance from work, yours or your wife's, absolutely, no penalty. But if you don't, you will get a penalty. 10% for every 12 months you're not signed up. Part B, Part D, as in the drug program, and everything. So, you have to take that into consideration. And yeah, so if you need help with all things Medicare there, let me see here. Okay. I've put together network partners that can help you out with Medicare supplements, Advantage, vision, dental, life, burial, estate planning, and stuff like that. And they support this channel as well. So you can just call the number on the bottom there or email me, and we'll find someone in your area that can help you out. Tez 49. Hi, I hope your day is going smooth. Always. Every day above ground is a good day. I wanted to know if SSI will give you spouse a separate check or money out of my back pay for the rent I owed before I got approved. SSI is the welfare-based program, so there's probably not a whole heck of a lot there. But if you're talking about regular disability, I mean, no, they won't give anybody a special check like that. That's between you and them. They won't issue special checks like that. So let's see, Lisa, can I go off disability before I reach my full retirement age, then go on Social Security retirement to get the delayed retirement credits? Lisa, you're stealing my thunder here. How dare you? I'm doing a video here, next one, the one after, about that. So stay tuned. I'll go into more detail. That's a little known trick that not many people know, except for Lola. She is, or Lisa, excuse me. Next is Lola. But yeah, I'll go more in detail here. The next video I'm doing is on Medicare, how to get your money back from Medicare, and then the super secret delayed retirement benefit strategy. I'll talk about next time. What I want to know, everybody, please press like, so we can get more people the information they need. Appreciate it. What I want to know, that I'm 67 and Social Security is under 800 plus, 174. I want to work. Is that affect my Medicare? Okay, so if your Social Security is under 800, I wonder if you're receiving SSI, that the needs-based, income welfare related payment. And if that's all you're receiving, you're not receiving any other benefits, then I would definitely contact Medicaid in your state and apply for Medicaid and see if they will pay for your Part B premium. And that'll put an extra $174 in your pocket. And then there are Medicare Advantage dual eligible plans that might be able to get you some more benefits. But if you want to work, will that affect your Medicare? Yeah, not if you're on just regular Social Security retirement. If you're on disability, then yeah, there is work limitations and everything. So yeah, that's a too many variables there to really answer. Um, Joe, I was approved for SSDI in February. How do I know if they calculated my back pay correct? Yeah, you can just ask them for a full accounting of those benefits, and it'll take them forever to give you a full accounting. But yeah, you can definitely do that. I'm going through my TikTok here and seeing if I got any questions. Please, everybody on TikTok. Please subscribe so I can do TikTok correctly. I'm 57. Is my Social Security yearly statement is understated because the bin points are low? Yeah, the bin points for everybody are the same. Yeah, everybody is calculated exactly the same. So that shouldn't make a difference. The only way your benefit amount is incorrect is if your earnings record is incorrect. So I've done a few videos on that recently because here we are tax season, and so want to make sure people go in there before you put your taxes away and you think your tax season is over. Go into SSA.gov and make sure your earnings record is correct, because that's how they determine, that's how they will eventually determine how much you make from a retirement or disability or surviving spouse and all that kind of good stuff is based on your earnings record. For the monthly earnings test, this is Marcia Buck. What's up, Marcia? For the monthly earnings test, is it based on when the income was earned or when it was paid? Both, depending on if you are just a regular wages, it's when it was earned. If you're self-employed, it's when it was paid, because self-employed, it's could be 2 years later. But there are exceptions on there. Yeah. But yeah, mostly W-2, 99% of the time, it's when you actually earned it. So like if you work the last 2 weeks of December and you get paid on January, then they don't count that for January. They count it on when it was actually earned. But the Social Security computer system is not the most update, and so sometimes they get it wrong, and you just have to go in there and prove it manually, and they'll correct it. Whatever issues like that. Let's see here. Answer: why at age 73 and receiving Social Security, I'm still having Medicare and Social Security taken, working and still. Oh, okay, yeah. All right. So yeah, people always asking that. They're like 73 years old and they're already receiving Social Security benefits and Medicare, but they're working and they're still paying into Social Security and Medicare. Yeah. You'll pay that. Everybody pays that forever, unless you're super, super rich, and then you don't have to, you get, yeah, you get other different kinds of, you take loans out on your, yeah, anyway, but don't get me started there. But us regular schmoes, yeah, we have to pay FICA, Medicare, Social Security tax forever. So yeah, unless you're super, super rich, but the rest of us. You can't get a person at local Social Security office. Yep. So, well, there you go. You have your mission now. If you choose to accept it, to do something about it, now you've got tools to know how to do it, and watch out for those whack-a-mole things where the politician says, "Oh yeah, we improved phone times," but now it takes you, the line goes around the building 15 times now. All right. Turning 65, getting Social Security, but waiting on disability. My application 73% done. What does that mean? Yeah, there's yeah. Uh, I give Social Security an A for effort in those percentages. It's kind of like you ever downloaded anything off the internet, or and it says 10% done, 20% done, 30% done, and you're sitting there 10% and 20, and all of a sudden it's 70%. Yeah, one of those things. So I would take that with a grain of salt. Basically, you take the application for disability, it goes up to the disability decision service in your state, disability term, yeah. Um, and they do their thing, and they, have you do a consultative exam if necessary, and then, they get all your doctor stuff, and then they make the decision. So there's 50% done, or 73% done possibly, and then it goes back to the local office for the actual adjudication and the payment. But sometimes it gets intercepted by quality control, and they kind of pick it out at random and to make sure everything is look good, and so that adds time. And so one day you're at 73%, and then the next day you're at 35% because quality control has it. So yeah, yeah, again, thumbs up to Social Security for even doing things like that, but it's just like, yeah, I wouldn't take that to the bank. Dun, dun, dun. I have health insurance from my retirement. I will be 65 in June. Do I need to sign up for Part B? Yes. Well, again, if you want to avoid the penalty, because health insurance from work does not count for Medicare. So, yes, you'll have to sign up at 65. If you don't, then you'll pay a 10% penalty for every 12 months you don't for Part B and Part D, the drug plan, for the rest of your life. So yes, yes, yes. So this is a TikTok question. So on the TikTok, if you want help with evaluating Medicare supplements, which are the ones I recommend, or Medicare Advantage, depends on your budget, your particular situation. But yeah, you can call the 800 number, my 800 number there, or email me and just tell me your name, your state, because they're all state specific, what you're looking for. Just say, hey, I need help with Medicare, and then your phone number, and I will find one of our network partners in your neck of the woods to reach out to you and give you all your options. And that's obviously a completely free service. So, all right, let's see what else we got here. Let me go back to. Da-da. Okay, let's see here. I was given incorrect advice at my local Social Security office. Phone call to Social Security much more accurate. Yeah, they're hiring a whole bunch of new employees. But as I mentioned several times, it takes a good year or 2 years actually to learn Social Security. That's why I always laugh at those, people that, put this on their website that, oh, I'm a Social Security expert advisor because I took a 2-day class, and so ask me about Social Security, and you ask them about Social Security and they haven't got a clue, and or they fake it and tell you something incorrect. And yeah, I wish they would stop. But anyway, so that's why we need better customer service, so you can go directly get faster customer service and more accurate customer service. All right, let's see here. When one is automatically signed up for Medicare, do they automatically sign one up for Part A and Part B, hence taking out $174 every month? Is Part A free? If so, can one opt to just take Part A versus Part B? Yeah, so when they sign you up for Medicare, Medicare is Part A and Part B. That's original Medicare Part A and Part B. So yeah, so if you have health insurance from work, you can just, when you get the card, usually about 100 days before you turn 65, or if you're on disability a couple of years, um, then you just return the card and say, I don't want any of it, or I just want Part A since it's free. And then 2 years, 3 years, 4 years later, when you stop working or your spouse stops working and you stop receiving health insurance from current work, then you just have to fill out a couple of forms, 564 and the 40B. I've got a video on that. It tells you how to do all that. But again, then you have to figure out how you're going to cover all of the gaps of original Medicare Part A and Part B. If I have a home and need to apply for SSI or cash benefits before SSDI, do I need to report the house? Will I have to sell it for income before I can apply? No, no. Almost all programs, state, federal, because I worked, before I worked for Social Security, I worked for the Department of Social Services, did Medicaid, TANF and all that kind of good stuff. But yeah, your home is exempt. You get one home and one car. So those are exempt. You don't have to worry about those, because, you know, um, the government does some crazy things sometimes that they're not going to kick you out and, make you homeless so they can give you, $900 a month. So, yeah. Let's see here. Let's see. Let's see it. Thank you. And let's see if it great. And another thank you. You're welcome. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Make sure you like and subscribe, and you can even buy me a coffee or a beer down below. The little thanks or the coffee thing. Jim, I am thinking of taking Social Security at 63 and keep working, since I would be making under the cap and replacing about 10 zeros in my work history. Would that partially offset get at 67? Yeah, good. Yeah. Excellent. Yes. Sounds like a great option. Is if you're going to be under the annual earnings limit, this year is the 22,320. And it sounds like you've got 10 years of zeros there, because again, they calculate your benefits based on your high 35 years of earnings. So if you got 10 zeros there, then that's going to bring everything down as an average. Yeah. So yes, sounds like a plan to me. Let's see. How often are CDRs for SSI Missouri? Was it Barbie Girl? Oh, Barbie Girl. Yeah, it's not state specific. It's a federal program, and CDRs are based on when you were approved for disability insurance. They gave you a date. CDR, it's MIE, was it Medicare medical improvement expected. So they determined at that time how often you should be in rotation, every year or 3 years or 5 years or never. So it really depends on that date. Watch my video on CDRs. Too many people, and I think Social Security is kind of guilty of this. They really stress people out that, if you're on disability, that's the last thing you need is, stress, more stress. So the way it's just watch my long video on CDRs. It'll give you all the details about, super long story short, don't stress, don't worry about a CDR until it actually arrives in the mail. Believe me. And even if it arrives in the mail, you fill it out the best as you can, make copies, return it, and then forget about it, because the Social Security budgetary reasons, they might not even do anything about it. And you're sitting there freaking out for weeks and months trying to figure out whether they're going to kick you off. And they've already, shredded your documents, because they didn't have the budget to do one more. So it's an unfortunate system. It's necessary because, we want to make sure, the money goes to people that are actually disabled rather than people that, could actually work or are working. So watch my videos on CDRs. I've done a couple of them. Let's see here. Forced to retire at 62. Will I ever receive my full benefits once I hit full retirement age? No, unfortunately. Yeah, once you're locked in like that, you're locked in. But as what was her name? That stole my thunder. Watch my video. Was today Thursday, the Sunday one? So next Thursday. Make sure you join me, and I'll fill you in on a strategy. Yeah, it's something that takes a little time, so I don't want to do that here. That's the problem with all the social media, TikTok and YouTube and stuff like that. People give answers and complicated. You can read some of my comments. That are easy to answer. I reply to almost all the comments I get, but sometimes there's just too many variables, and it's not something you can reply to in a comment. That's why I do these live Q&As. So why are you penalized for signing up to Medicare after 65? Are you charged before you can use it? Because it's insurance, and it's a pooled risk. If you only have, just with any insurance in the world, if you have just people that only sign up for when they need it, that insurance will last, at about a week and a half. So, you know, you get people that are not using it to pay for it, and those premiums and everything pay for the people that are actually using it. So when you eventually start using it, that 170, $6 or whatever that you're going to pay in the future, 180 or 200 or whatever it is, that's not going to cover all of your, so yeah, so it's a pooled risk. That's, just the nature of insurance. Hi, which age can I retire? People say now that is 67 years of age. Yeah, you can retire. I just did a short video on this, kind of a quiz. So at what age can you retire? 60, 62, 65, or 67? And the answer is all of those, depending on your situation. If you're a surviving spouse, you can start your benefits at 60. If you're just regular retirement, you can start your early retirement at 62. So you can start it at 62. You can start it at 63, 63 and a half, 64 and 2 months. Or you can wait all the way till you're 70. I wouldn't recommend past 70 because you're going to be losing money. But if you're looking for full retirement, your full retirement benefits, then yeah, probably depends on your age when you were born. 67 is the full retirement age. So please, everybody, press like, and so this goes out to more people. Yeah, there's 70 million people on Social Security and Medicare, and I think I have 40,000 subscribers. So there's a lot of people out there that I run into every single day that, oh, I wish I would have known that. Well, because, yeah. All right, let's see. What if I apply for Part B and have insurance through my employer? Does that affect HSA? No, B doesn't. Yeah, it's only A that is a hospital. That only affects the HSA. So. All right, let me go back to a YouTube question here. McFact, assuming one is already getting Social Security and Medicaid, will Medicaid pay for Medicare Part B and help one avoid the $175 per month? Absolutely, yes. But if you're already getting Medicaid, well, there's several levels of Medicaid, and each state is a little bit different. So yeah, if you're getting the higher levels, it's called QMB, Qualified Medicare Beneficiary, or QI, or SlimB. It depends on your income and resources and stuff like that. But yeah, if you're getting the higher levels of Medicaid, then absolutely they should pay for your Medicare Part B premium, and that puts the extra $175 back in your pocket. And then if you have Medicare and Medicaid, which a lot of people don't realize you can have both, you can also get a Medicare Advantage dual eligible plan that might get you some more benefits depending on your particular neck of the woods. So you can call my number up there or email me and just let me know again your name, your state, what you're looking for, your phone number, and we can have someone reach out to you, give you a free quote, and give you all of your options. Good time. Thank you. Appreciate that. Yeah, you're welcome. Welcome. Lola, if I want to apply for Medicaid, do they look only at my income or also your husband? Yeah, your husband too. Again, it's household. If you're currently married, living together, and all that kind of good stuff, yeah, they look at household income. Let's see. Jim, is there a spousal benefit for Medicare early at 60, or is it just Social Security? Yeah, a spouse can collect. People always complain I don't read the whole question, so which I have a bad habit of. Is there a spousal benefit for Medicare early at 60, or is it just Social Security they can claim? All right. So yeah, a spouse can collect if a spouse isn't insured, never worked, or whatever the case may be. The spouse can receive money benefits and Medicare from a spouse, but they still have to be 65 years old. So. Jim again. The earlier question I meant would be my wife be able to get 87% of FRA even if I claim at 62. Yeah, if you claim early, yeah, that's I wonder if I've never when you claim at the earliest, it's again, it's the widow's cap and everything like that. So this is a surviving spouse question. So if your spouse is their full retirement age or whatever, and you collect your benefits at your earliest possible time, then your spouse will be evaluated based on your benefit amounts. And if you took it early, that will affect her benefit. So it'll either be 71.5% or 82.5%. It depends on when that happens and when you take your benefit. And it is a nightmare calculation. I'm trying to pull up the policy here, but it doesn't seem to be wanting me to pull it up here. It's it's a nightmare to calculate. So yeah, so if when that happens, Social Security will calculate the widow's cap, and they'll evaluate three different scenarios, and they'll give you the highest. They'll give her the highest of the three different scenarios, depending on the three or four or five different variables. So yeah, that is the most complicated calculation I think there is on Social Security. Yeah. So hi Ed, I'm 96. Wow, good. And I got two checks this month. One was 1440, and I got one more for 2583. What I need to do with it? Keep it? Yeah. Yeah, I have no idea. Not exactly sure. 96, you've probably been on benefits for a while. I wonder if Social Security made a mistake somewhere along the line, and then they say, oh, we found that you were in the military, so we owed you an extra $3 every month for the past 20 years, and maybe they're paying you that or something like that. So I would call them up and find out what's going on and say, hey, I got an extra check here for 2583. What's going on? And did it in fact come from Social Security? Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, it's one of those things. It's like, hey, I'll keep it, but then a year down the line or 2 years down the line, they stop your benefit because you got an overpayment, and then it messes everything up. And yeah, so yeah, sometimes it's not worth it. So I would call them up and find out. Kathy, I'll be 60 in October. Will retire with FERS pension October 31st. Would like Social Security ex-spouse survivor benefits to start November 1st. When is the best time to file? 2 or 3 months before is fine. You can't do survivor benefits your ex. Oh yeah, survivor. Yeah, you cannot do survivor benefits online. They've been working on that for a while, but yeah, still no luck with that. Yeah, you'll have to call the 800 number and schedule an appointment and for those survivor benefits. So usually a couple 3 months in advance is more than enough time. And you just have to, since you got some time, I would start getting your marriage and divorce and all that kind of good stuff. You don't need to get the death certificate. They've already been notified of the passing. That's an automatic system. So let's see. Lisa, thanks, Ed. Loving your stuff and like every chance I get. Awesome. Thank you. Is the annual earnings limit of 22K in early retirement gross? If not, what deduction? Yeah, it's gross. Yeah. So what other kind of deductions you have for health insurance and 401ks and stuff like that? It's your gross. Let's see here. And another one here from Lisa. Thanks, Ed. I like what you okay. I was wondering if oh, okay. I clicked on that twice. Hallmarks of a good customer relations office and signs of a bad office. Yeah, the line outside, just never going in. Like I said, that big line that I showed the picture of in the first part of this, we had that down in like 12 minutes. I mean, we had our regional director, and it's like there's no way you can get this line in and processed in 12 minutes. And it's like, yeah, watch us. Hold our beer. And yeah, we came up with a system that we tried 47 different versions of, and every day we're like, okay, that didn't work, let's try this. Okay, that didn't work, let's try this. And most of the times it was the employees that said, hey, you should try this. And we're like, oh, okay, that sounds stupid, but we'll try it. And then sometimes, it's like, wow, that worked. Didn't think that would work in a million years, but it worked. So yeah, the frontline employees are where it's at. All right, let's see if there's any TikTok questions here. Would our Social Security follow to Mexico? Yes. If there's variables, go on to the Social Security website or just click in Google payments abroad screening tool. Payments abroad screening tool. And he just asks you some questions. Are you a US citizen? What type of benefits are you going to receive? Where are you going to live? And stuff like that. And it tells you, but for Mexico, I'm almost sure you're good. So, do you direct deposit? Do we need a US address? Not necessarily. So, Jay, I will be 65 in July and working full time. Do I need to let Medicare know? It depends. If you're currently receiving Social Security monthly benefits, then Medicare will send you your packet and your card in the mail about 100 days before you turn 65. So at that time, if you're working full time, have health insurance and all that good stuff I talked about, then yeah, you just return the card. But if you're not currently receiving Social Security benefits, then you don't have to do anything. So when you stop working at 67, 68, 70, 100 years old, then you can go ahead and sign up for Medicare, and there'll be no penalty whatsoever because you've had health insurance from current work for that entire time. You just have to fill out a couple of forms. This is the government. You have to have a couple of forms for everything. As we used to say in the Marine Corps, we need you to fill this out in triplicate. One for you, one for us, and one to burn so the Russians won't get it. So yeah. I'm 49 trying to apply due to autoimmune vascular disease. How hard to get for my age? Yeah, age, not really relevant too much. Gets easier as you get older. But yeah, 49, it depends. Again, Social Security defines disability as the inability to work. So if that is keeping you from working and keeping a job, then yeah, make sure you watch my 4 videos. I just did 4 videos over the last month on, all the insider tips, tricks, and secrets on getting disability and all that kind of good stuff. So make sure you watch that, watch those 4 videos, and that'll give you a better. And if you haven't already applied, apply immediately because it takes forever and a day to get approved. So the sooner you get started, the sooner, you can hopefully get your benefits. Let's see here. What other quantity? Animal sanctuary. Are there supplements to cover Mexico? So Medicare supplements. There are, yeah, some Medicare supplements provide overseas emergency coverage, but that's only if you're all, out of the country, kind of, on vacation temporarily. I think it's 60 days or 90 days or something like that. But yeah. I just called Medicare today, in fact, and I'm still at my permanent job, and Medicare said I don't need to enroll if I'm working permanent. Yep, they told you the correct information. Exactly. That if you're currently working, have health insurance from work, and again, you like it, and it's not crazy deductibles, and it doesn't cost you, an arm and a leg, and your employer has 20 or more employees, then yep, you're good. Let's see, what other cut? All quarters paid, no working next 2 years. Will start collecting at 62. Will I be penalized for not work? Well, penalized, Social Security, determines how much you're going to make by your high 35 years of earnings. So, that's, if you've got a bunch of zeros there as one of the previous individuals, then yeah, then, your benefit's going to go down. All right. Can my dad appeal if he has a late penalty for Part B? He enrolled when he was 67. He has private insurance also. If his private insurance came from work, then yes, he should never have been, um, yeah, he should have never got a penalty. So, yeah, but if the private insurance is just, private insurance from wherever, retirement plan or Cobra or something like that, then yeah, it doesn't count. But again, with Social Security, with any federal agency, you can appeal anything, just like, you can file a lawsuit on anything. Whether it goes through, that's a whole different, case. So, and also paying part. Yeah. Can you have retirement funds and still be on SSDI? Yep, yep, yep. Because SSDI is not a needs-based program, so you can have $1 billion in the bank, and if you do, make sure you buy me a coffee or a beer. But yeah, no, doesn't matter. SSDI is only, you know, is about your ability to work, not if you have any money. That's SSI. You cannot, if you have, over several $1,000s of liquid assets for SSI, then you wouldn't be qualified for SSI. So, let's see, Lisa, not SSA related, but I imagine you know this. Are all honorable discharge vets eligible for VA health benefits? My husband was a Marine from 76 to 80. Yeah, the VA benefits, yeah, not all, but they do it based on income and resources. So yes, if he's he's got issues on a monthly basis getting by, then VA benefits. A lot of people love those VA benefits in terms of you go to the local VA hospital and get your prescriptions and all that kind of good stuff. So absolutely, I would 100% recommend he apply. All right. It's been an hour and 10 minutes, and I think we're good for today. So I really, really would like for people to go out there and see what they can do to improve customer service because, having all the knowledge ain't going to help if, Social Security doesn't do their part, and we need them to do their part. So if, whatever you do, put a comment, come back here and comment, say, hey, Ed, yeah, I in my particular office, they did this and management was out there, or I called my local politician and asked them what they're doing to help customer service. And so, yeah, kind of fill me in. Let me know what kind of success, what type of actions you've made, and what kind of response you've gotten. So I sure will appreciate kind of a follow up. So, all right, y'all have an awesome weekend, the rest of the week, and I will see you again Sunday if I don't pop up. If there's some questions, unfortunately, I'm not able to get to, but I seem to be doing these Q&As every day. So if I wake up and I feel I've got 30 minutes or so, I'll pop up. So if I didn't answer your question, I apologize. Please come back and watch when I go live again, and I'll be able to hopefully get to your question then. All right, y'all take care. Have an awesome one. Bye-bye.